Well, a little bit more about my glider story. I think many children will have received a balsa, right, my age, I'm 71. So initially what you got was a little balsa chuck or elastic band launched glider. So you just flicked it off with an elastic band catapult type thing. So a catapult glider where you had a fuselage, tailplane, and wing made out of balsa wood, replaced by foam. Then it was aeroplanes. I wasn't into gliding at all. And so the things that you got then were these super cheap toys, like the super cheap drones that people bought and found didn't do what they wanted. And these, bits of plastic. See, it's been in the wars here. A wing, and attached to the wing, two motors. So you get two motors on the wing, one there and one there. And the steering is done by varying the amount of power going to each of the two motors. So you have something that looks like some sort of funny remote control. And you're meant to steer it because obviously the motor that gets the most power, it turns that way. And that's the only control you had over it at all. No other control on it. You obviously, if you put more power into both motors at the same time, then you'd hope you'd get more lift. What was the result of that? Well, if you ever get one of those and you want to fly, I would say make sure there isn't a tree for a mile. Why do I say that? You go to a field or some flying area, there's a tree somewhere. It will find the tree. I went with my children. The children are fully grown up and gone. You know what? It found the tree every single time. And the other thing is it will cartwheel out of the sky. You'll get it to the wrong attitude, it'll stall, and that's it. It comes flying down. So you'll go to the flying field and the chances are you'll come home with it broken. Now, there's one type. Here's I've taken one of the motors off. I was going to use it in something. There's another one. As you say, same sort of thing. Two motors in some polystyrene, and that's the thing that flies. What was I going to show you? I think I had a remnant of a piece of because I did build up rubber band powered aeroplanes out of balsa and tissue. Dope, with dope on it. They didn't last long because you crush them and then they need repairing. You can't repair them that often. I'm just looking because I did keep one of those. There's some odd bits and pieces. If I look into there, you'll see some scrappy bits and pieces of bits of airplanes. Oh, what's that? It's a is it a charger for one of these things? Yes, it's a charger. So you put lots of dry cells in this and then set the timer, and that can be used to recharge the battery in one of those little airplanes. There we go. And I'm scanning around. So what happens to the balsa plane? The one I have in here, there's some balsa wood, the bigger balsa plane, the little one, covered in tissue. Something falls on it. Oops. So one of them never got to fly. You can see the untidiness. Okay, you say my own fault. It was just there. Something goes onto the balsa plane. That's it. Chopped in half virtually. Right, so we've got a couple of these wings. One, two, another one called Flying Fish, 3. So I didn't give up at just one. I had a go at a few of those. And I've kept the wings because, I've got a motor there. Got a couple of wings. Well, there's 3 wings there, yeah. Of a different sort. And, look, you can see that one's been repaired. It's been broken in 2. That one's been patched up. bits of tape and things, but it's still sort of got a wingish shape to it. 40-inch, that's not much of a wing, is it? 36-inch wing. A tailplane, which I don't know if that's ever been used. It's certainly not had the elevator sections trimmed and set on that one. You know? Okay, so material, pizza bases for making new flying surfaces or control surfaces with. That sort of foam. Right, so that is a part of the story of my gliding. Oh, no, it wasn't meant for gliding. That was flying. And then there's a nitro plane in here. It's a Chris Foss design. I think it's you-know-what in there. That's its wing there. And you've got a nitro plane in here. So we went to Keighley Model Aircraft Club and flew nitro plane with a Futaba transmitter. So with a proper, I don't know, I'll be selling it later, the box for the maintenance of the aircraft and all of that sort of stuff. So went into the nitro planes. That was that. However, it's only open 2 afternoons a week, Saturday, Wednesday afternoon. The flying field, you have to put a peg on with your crystal frequency. You wait in the pits, prep to wait your turn. There's the charging of everything before you go, the prep of it, everything else while you're learning till you got your Class A, Class B license, whatever. You're flying with someone, so you need to wait while they've had their flight and they're ready to give you your lesson or buddy you. Then yeah, you have a nice launch, fly around the field twice, land. It might be 10-15 minutes. You know that you've got a limit in the fuel tank of a maximum of 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I think. And after that, you're going to be landing dead stick because there'll be no fuel in the thing. So you don't want to get into that position. So you, from the time of getting onto the field until the time of pulling off back into the pits, might be 20 minutes. It's enough time. It's stressful enough, focused enough. And then you're sitting around for an hour or two waiting for your next slot. It's mathematics. You might have 2 or 3 in the air at a time, but you're not having more than that. Or, you know, you can't fly at the same time as anybody else on the same frequency view. You can't even have your transmitter on, obviously, if it's on the same frequency. Otherwise, it would interfere and crash somebody else's plane. So, electric flight, then, having had the bad experience of these super cheap things, looked at the e-powered gliders, and that's where my Wing Dragon came in and got me into electric flight, and hence all the other gliders you see are e-powered machines.